Hello everyone, in this lecture we are going to talk about exact and fractional coloring, and we will start with exact coloring. Exact coloring is a type of vertex coloring such that every pair of colors appear on exactly one pair of adjacent vertices. So let's say we have a list of colors that we color the vertices of a graph. Every pair of colors appear on exactly one pair of adjacent vertices. That is exact coloring. So to give you an example, let's say we have a graph like this. As you can see it, we have 7 colors. And if you notice, every pair of colors are exactly on one pair of adjacent vertices. So if you take green and blue, for example, we have one pair of adjacent vertices that carry those two colors. We don't have any other adjacent vertices carry them. If you take, for example, yellow and gray, we have one pair of adjacent vertices carrying those two colors and no more. That is basically exact coloring. So every pair of colors appear on exactly one pair of adjacent vertices, and exact coloring creates independent sets that have the color. So for example, we have an independent set that have elements colored in red, an independent set that have elements colored in, for example, green, and so forth. And there are exactly one edge that connects one element from one independent set to another element in another independent set. For example, right here, we have one edge that connects elements of the red independent set to one that is baby blue, or an edge that connects one element in the purple independent set to another element in the yellow independent set. And in exact coloring, every independent set is connected to the rest of the independent sets. So for example, this red, it is connected to the green, it is connected to the baby blue, and it is connected to gray, and the other red, it is connected to the rest of the colors, which is yellow, dark blue, and purple. So in exact coloring, every independent set is connected to the rest of the independent sets with exactly one edge, and that is basically exact coloring. So exact coloring is a type of vertex coloring such that every pair of colors appear on exactly one pair of adjacent vertices. Another type of coloring that we have is called fractional coloring. Fractional coloring is a type of vertex coloring where every vertex is assigned a list of colors and adjacent vertices do not have the same color. Do not confuse this with list coloring. Here, even though we have a list of colors for the vertices, however, we divide the vertices into how many divisions do we want, either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have fractions, and we give each fraction or each division one color. So to clarify this is an example of fractional coloring. As you can see it, we have divided each vertex into 2 halves, and we have 5 colors. So we give each vertex 2 colors from the 5. So this is a 5-2 coloring, as you can see it. And if you notice, we have no 2 adjacent vertices that have the same color, even though they are divided. So for example, if you take this vertex, it is colored yellow and purple, and it is connected to a vertex that is colored red and green, and to another one that is colored red and white. As you can see it, if you connected this vertex to this vertex, it would not be fractional coloring, because we would have 2 vertices that have the same color, or 2 half of a vertices that have the same color. So you should be aware, in fractional coloring, even though we have fraction of the vertex, however, we cannot have 2 vertices that have fractions having the same color. Be aware of that. That is basically fractional coloring. So we divide the vertices into how many divisions do we need or do we want, and based on the list of colors that we have, we give each division of a vertex a certain color. And the way we call it, it will be how many colors that we have, 2 dots, and then how many divisions do we have in each vertex. So for example, right here we have a 5-2 coloring. If we have divided the vertices into 3, it would be 5-3 coloring. If we had 10 colors, it would have been 10-2 coloring. That is basically fractional coloring. So to look back in, exact coloring is a type of vertex coloring such that every pair of colors appear on exactly one pair of adjacent vertices. Fractional coloring is a type of vertex coloring where every vertex is assigned a list of colors and adjacent vertices do not have the same color. And with this, we come to the end of this lecture.